Colors. I'm Colors. Today we're going to be making a postman gnome that was requested by a subscriber named Carolyn, and I'm really happy to have him made up and ready for us to make him today. This is what he looks like. This is a Gnomesville Gnome Mailman. We're going to make him today, and I'm going to tell you the materials that we're going to need to make him. Also, I made children. He's sending their letters to Santa with him, and he's got a backpack of mail full of Santa letters, and I've got the children here with their Santa letters ready to give to him. And next week, on the next week's video, I'll introduce you to these children, and we'll make these children gnomes. So what we need to make the mailman gnome today, I have right here in front of me. We need a pair of dress socks, gray dress socks that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and a pair of black crew socks from the Dollar Tree, but we'll only be using one of those. We'll be needing one of the gray and red socks from the Dollar Tree, just one of those. And we'll need just a miscellaneous knitted sock for the body. We'll be using half of this sock. We'll be using a 4 by 5 inch beard. And from Hobby Lobby, you'll want to pick up these letters, black and red. Let's see here. We need a 6.5 inch by 12 inch piece of blue fleece for his pants, and 3 7-inch by 7-inch pieces of sandstone felt for his hands and nose. We'll need 1 inch by 16-inch piece of charcoal felt for his belt. We'll be using these pink clips that you get from the Dollar Tree. There's come 6 in a package for $1, and they're really great to use with your craft projects, and we're going to be using them today. We're also going to be using 2 7-inch rollers, a pom-pom. I guess that's about 1.5 inch pom-pom in blue. You need to make up some letters to Santa out of stock paper. And I also made up this little USPS. I made up a little card, red, white, and blue card to go on the mail pouch. That'll go on that. And we'll need a little red striped piece of felt to go on the mail pouch as well. And then we'll need a 6-inch by 12-inch piece of gray fleece for the shirt, 2 6 inch by 7-inch pieces of gray fleece for the sleeves. You'll need a 1 inch by 20-inch piece of gray fleece for the bag handle, and a 1 inch by 5-inch piece of gray fleece for the bag, also an accent piece. We'll be needing some polyester fiber fill, and from Hobby Lobby, you can get these patch flags. They come 4 in a package. They're just perfect for his arms, so we'll be using 2 of those. You'll need a sandwich bag, a Ziploc sandwich bag that seals like this, and some rubber bands, 2 black ones, and then a few the natural ones. You'll need some flat marbles and a pair of the black done up black shoes. You'll need to go to my shoe video and find out how to make these shoe boots. Well, I'll link that video below, and we need those in black. And that should be it. Other than your glue gun and your scissors and some strong holding hairspray, that should be all we need today. So I'm going to get these things out of my way, and then I'll get back with you and we'll get started on this project. The first thing that we want to do to start our project today is to make the body. So take out your sock for your body. It doesn't really matter what color, because we're not going to see this in the end. And we want to make a 9-inch body. So you want to go up kind of above the heel and cut your body piece off. And then we want to fill this with marbles, the bottom with marbles, and then we want to fill it with polyester fiber fill until it's a 9-inch body, and then fasten it with a rubber band. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to measure mine to make sure it measures 9 inches, because everything that's cut to go on it is measured for a 9-inch body. So I'm going to do this and I'll be right back with you. So I've got my 9-inch body all ready. I've got the flat marbles in the bottom, and he's filled with the polyester fiber fill. And then I fastened him at the top with the rubber band. And the next thing we want to do is make the nose and hands. So you want to take out your 3 7-inch by 7-inch pieces of the sandstone felt. And they're all made the same way. You just want to take some of your polyester fiber fill and put it right in the center of one of your pieces of felt, like that, and push it up with your thumb. And then just wrap it with your rubber band. Like that. And then you just cut off the extra. And that's how you get your hands and your nose. Like that. So I'm going to go ahead and make the other two, and I'll be right back with you. I've got my nose and my hands done. I'll put those to the side, and I want to make the arms now. So you want to take out your pair of dress socks, the gray dress socks, and we're going to cut those to make our pieces for our arms. We want them to be long enough for our 7-inch rollers to go inside them. So I'm going to make sure that I cut them that long. Like that. And then what you want to do is fill them with fiber fill. A little bit. After you get about this much stuffing in there. Flatten it out nicely, and then you want to tunnel down through the middle and put your roller in there so that the arm becomes a bendable arm. So you want to put it in like that. Take your black rubber band and make sure your roller's up in the end of the sock, and put your black rubber band around there. This is the end that we're going to put the hand in. So you don't need to put it around too many times, because you don't want the wrist to appear to be really small. So I always push that roller down as far as I can, because I know I have to have room in there to put one of the hands in there. So after you get that side done, this is the side down here that's going to be glued to the body. So you can put a natural color rubber band down here because we're not going to see it. This is going to be how the arm looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other arm, and I'll be right back with you. So the next thing I'm going to do, now that I have both the arms made, is to go ahead and glue in the hands. And I've got them made right here. So what you want to do is put your glue right on the top of the hand. And around the rubber band. And just put it right on top of the roller, and take the sock and hold it right in on that glued rubber band where all the glue is around the rubber band, and hold it just like that and let it set up. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the other arm, and I'll be right back with you. So I've got my hands glued in, and I noticed that the rollers stick out a little bit farther than I want them to on the ends that we're going to glue into the body, because we only have so much room on the back there. So I'm going to take my craft scissors and just trim them off just a little bit. So that the arms glue in nice and even. So what we want to do is we want to take our glue to glue on our arms, and just put our glue right there on the rubber band, like that, and glue it right on the back like that. And I'm going to hold that for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to glue the other arm right here and hold that, and then I'm going to use my third hand and glue on the nose right here, right on the front, and I'll be right back with you. Everything's set up here. The arms are on, the nose is on. We're ready to put the sleeves on now. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the body down and get out my two 6x7" sleeves, the gray fleece, and just go ahead and wrap your sleeve around your arm, and take your pink clips. Hopefully you all have your pink clips, and just start clipping from the corner. Probably going to take about 4 clips to go all the way up the arm. So then what you want to do once you get it clipped like that is you want to start gluing at the corner. And just put your clip right over the top of the fleece with the glue inside so it can set up. And then we'll let that set up while we do the other arm. So we've got the sleeves on now. I folded the cuff back a little bit on both sides. And we're going to put the pants on. So you want to get out your 6.5 by 12 inch piece of blue. And you want to wrap it around the body, making sure to get the seam right in the center of the back. It's all going to be a little bit different depending on how much you stuffed them, how much extra you're going to have. That should be center right there. And then we're just going to glue that down. Say about 1/4 of an inch back. Then is what you want to do is put the indent in the front to indicate that he's got pants on. Is what you want to do is kind of get your line going from the nose down, center it, get an idea where that's at, and then take and put your glue there on the inside. And then put your fabric back over the glue. And take your pair of scissors and hold it right down there in the center, right over the top of the glue. And let it set up. And I'll be right back with you. So I've got the indent in his pants all done. And the next thing I want to do is to go ahead and put his shirt on. So you want to get your 6 inch by 12 inch piece of gray fleece. I've got it folded in half. And then what you want to do is fold it in half again. And you want to cut the size of a quarter in the middle. And just take it right over the top of his nose and that little stub. Take it over the top like that. And then this is where you can use your pink clips again. You just want to lay them down and get the corners together. You do that on both sides. Oh, the clips. And then I just stand them up, make sure everything looks like it's going to be good once I glue it. So then you just want to take your clip off and glue that first corner. Put your clip back right over the top of the fabric. And then take your next clip off. And then you do your third. And let that set up. And then you want to do the other side. And I'm going to do that and I'll be right back with you. So we didn't get it in the materials list at the beginning of the video, but we're going to put a black felt piece, real thin piece, on the sides of the pants, like that. We felt it made a big difference. So what you want to do is you just want to run your bead of glue down, starting at the seam of the shirt. And lay that piece of black felt right on there. And then we'll do the other side. The next thing I want to do is put on his belt. The 16 is a 16-inch piece, 1 by 16 inch. We're not going to use that much. I just want to cut it big enough that we have enough, and then we can cut it down. So just wrap that around, making the seam part of the shirt go to the back. And then we'll put the beard on next. This is a 4-inch by 5-inch beard that we measure on the backing. And you want to fold it like that and cut a 1-inch slit in the top of it, which I have done. And then you want to take the corners of it and glue it like that. Turn that up. That makes it more of a round shape at the bottom rather than a square. Turn it up like that. Just gotta hold it for a minute. And then you just want to pull it up underneath the nose. Like that. And then tack it down, kind of directing it towards the center because you want the hat to cover up everything when you get the hat up here. So I'm going to put some glue on that and just aim it towards the stub. And then let that set up. And while that's setting up nicely for us, we're going to get the boots put on. So get the boots that you made from the boot video. And that's what we want to do, is take and put glue all around the top. So we want to spread the bottom out of our body. Put glue all the way around the top of these. These don't have any marbles in them. They're empty. kind of stringy here. So you want to take your body and kind of hold even roll up the pants a little bit and set them right on top of the boots. And I'm going to let that set up and I'll be right back with you. I've got the boots on. They're all glued on there. I put a little bit of polyester fiber fill up between where I put the indent, just a tiny little bit to make his pants a little bit more round. So if you want to do that, that's a little bit of an idea. I need to put a little bit of blush on his nose because he's cold. He's in the snow. Well, that ought to do it. And then we want to put the stripes on his shoulders. We have these black stripes going along the seam here to kind of clean up the look. So I'm going to go ahead and do one. We're just going to go right into the seam here with the glue. Right where the shirt meets the sleeves. And then just center that right on there like that. And then I'm just going to put a little glue on the ends and put that right under his arm. Do the same thing with the other side. I'll just put a little glue on the end. And put that right under the arm on that seam. And that's how that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side and I'll be right back with you. So the next thing that we want to do, now that we have the trim here, is we want to put the flags on. And they're really sticky, but I noticed that the corners come up on them if you don't glue them down. So we're just going to put them in place like that and then put some glue on the ends. So the corners don't come up. Just pull that side up and do the same thing. And then we'll put the other one on the other side. Make sure I got it down the same way. And once you got it in where you want it, just go ahead and put a little glue on the inside. The next thing we're going to do is the hat and then the bag. I made a Gnomesville type hat for him. It's an easy hat to make, and it looks really like he's a gnome, and he is. He's a Gnome Mailman. So you just want to take your black crew sock and start rolling it up. Trying to keep it as tight as possible. A little bit farther. I want to keep the seam in the back. Be like that. So I got a little blush on there. Now once you get it up to about that far, you want to put a little polyester fiber fill in there. Be about shaped like about that. That's pretty good right there. Now what we want to do is put the letters on. Take your letters and put USPS on the front of his hat in red. I've got the seam in the back there. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back with you. Got the USPS on him. I did glue it a little bit to keep them where I want them, and even though they're sticky letters, I glued them. Now we want to glue the hat on. Put some glue right on the front of his nose here, and get that started setting up. I'm going to work on getting his mustache going. After I spray it with hairspray, it'll work a lot better. So I'm going to get a little bit of glue on the sides, inside the sides. So they can all be setting up. And I'll be right back with you. So what we want to do now is hat secure on there. I even glued it on the back, a little bit on the back in the middle. We want to put his earmuffs on him. And I decided to use this little strip in this sandwich bag as part of the earmuffs. So we just need to cut that little strip out, the part that you seal. Then you just get this cut out real quick. And it makes a nice little piece for the earmuffs. And you want to take that over the top like that. So we're going to take this pom-pom, which looks to me like it's probably about a 1.5 inch pom-pom. I got it in a miscellaneous bag of them. So you just want to take it and cut it right in half. And then just put your glue right on there. And stick this right in between the top of the hat and the bottom of the hat. The glue is sticking to my fingers. A little bit messy. We may get a new S out of there. Then what you want to do is put your plastic. You want to glue the ends of your plastic piece that you cut out. Glue all around the ends like that and just stick it in there. I'm going to come around and show you on this side. Just glue it all the way around. And stick it in the fur there, in the pom-pom. And let that set up. I think I am going to replace this S. And that's how you do your pom-poms. You want to make sure they're glued on there pretty good. And then we'll go to doing his beard and his mustache. I will be working with this S. You just want to take your heavy duty hairspray. I'm going to let that set up for a minute, and then we're going to do the bag. So I'll be right back with you to do the postal bag. So what we have left to do is the mail bag, and you want to take your red and gray sock from Dollar Tree, and you want to lay it out where we're going to be working with the bottom here. And what we want to do is we want to fold it over about the size of what we want the mail bag to be. We're going to have a flap on it. So we're going to fold it over about like that. And then cut a flap like that. And we'll use this for another project, a nice piece for another project. So we take that like that, and we want to put some fiber fill in it. Then we fold this back over and tack it down. Just about 3 little dabs there. Tack it down. Now just the one part here is gonna glue down. We want this part to stay open a little bit because that's where we're gonna be putting the letters. Letters to Santa. So we'll see how we're leaving that part open. We want it to look like it's open. We'll tack it down a little bit in the middle. Leaving it lots of room to put the letters to Santa. And then you want to take the 1 inch by 5 inch piece of gray fleece, and we're going to glue that onto the top of the flap. Put some glue on there. I think I'm going to have to trim that up a little bit. And then we're going to, as soon as I get the glue off my fingers, put this little red piece of felt down the middle here. Turn it this way where I can see it better. Put it right on that glue bead that I just put across there. And I just made this up, this little USPS square. This is something that just came out of my head for a Gnome Mailman. I put that right in the middle there. And then we can put the letters that I made in green and red and white and even some silver ones and start putting those in. To make him have an overflowing postal bag of letters to Santa. So you can work with that how you like it. And the last thing that we need to do, well, not the last thing, we've got two more things we have to do. We have to put the letters on. Which I'm going to put USPS mail on that. And then I'll be right back with you. So I've got the letters put on. I just put them on with it as stickers. You probably want to glue these on. Take some more time and glue them on. I'm going to take the 1 inch by 20 inch handle to the bag. And what I want to do is kind of hang it down to where the bag's going to be on the ground. And he's not going to be trying to have the weight on him because it'll pull him over. So that's about where we're going to need to be. We'll cut off the rest and then we'll glue these right in there. Get those glued in the sides. I'll let that set up just a second. And then we're going to want to put it right on his arm. Right up to about here, letting it stay on the surface. And then just tack it down. And there's your Letters to Santa Postman from Gnomesville. He turned out really cute. And next video will be the children, gnome children that I've made. I'll introduce you to them on the next video, and we'll be making those. So thanks a lot for coming and spending this time with us today. If you like the video, make sure to like, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe.